issue, or if it's an account that was previously opened by someone and then was transferred to someone else. Um, these are they're very fact-based things, and it's very important to understand that you should ask questions actively about them, and don't just assume that because someone tells you that something is identity theft, that it's actually identity theft. A lot of people will just claim that something is identity theft because they want something to be removed, and they don't actually do it. They don't actually understand that filing for claiming that something is identity theft requires for you to file the affidavits with the IRS and the Social Security Administration and police reports and all kinds of things, and you don't necessarily want to just claim identity theft for the purpose of trying to get something removed. You want to understand what their situation is. Whether there's some people that just forgot that they had an account, and it takes time, and sometimes they remember later, and then there's sometimes that people are just untruthful and they just want something to be removed off the credit report. Don't necessarily just take a consumer's a word for what their situation is, and really dig deeper and find out what is the underlying issue that the consumer is facing on their credit reports. People ask me all the time, are more disputes better than less disputes? Yes, more disputes, more disputes, more disputes. What is enough? What are enough disputes to be able to file a suit? There are times where even one dispute can be enough, but it depends on if the dispute is on point, if it's just one that it's attaching on evidence and the dispute on its face correctly states the inaccuracy and provides the documentation and the evidence. A lot of times, and 90% of the time, when a consumer or anyone sends me a file and says, oh, this person has a dispute and here are the dispute letters that we sent and the results that came back, I will automatically say, no, I don't think the disputes were good. I think you need to send another round of disputes. So usually more disputes are better. Make sure the disputes are on point. Make sure that the disputes answer the simple question of what is wrong, why does it matter, is there evidence that you have that you're going to attach onto it. Make sure that the trade lines you're only sending one dispute per trade line, one letter per trade line. People ask me all the time, you're an attorney, can you sign a dispute? I always make my clients sign disputes. I never send dispute letters with my letterhead on them, because the consumer has the right to dispute inaccurate information on a credit report. I will help consumers draft letters, but I will never sign the letter on behalf of the consumer. I always will provide feedback and guidance and help you draft the letter. The consumer's responsibility will always be to print the letter, read the letter, adopt and sign the letter, attach on the evidences, make copies, go to the mailbox, go to the post office and mail it out themselves. I don't ever want to really be involved that much or actually mailing out the disputes. I want the consumer to engage in the process of getting something deleted off their credit report. Online versus paper. I always recommend consumers send paper disputes, keep copies, stay organized. Online disputes, the systems are getting better, but they're not that good yet. And you also potentially give up your rights. You may not be able to sue the credit reporting agencies. You may have to only file an arbitration if you're able to try to get a debt. You may only be able to file an arbitration. People ask me short and sweet versus detailed disputes.